my dear friends, and welcome back to this divinely aligned channel. If you're new, hello, new friend. My name is Shauna, or aka Miss Moon, which simply means my moon. I make tarot pick cards and astro advice and intuitively inspired videos to help align and inspire you to your highest soul path. You can call me your spiritual assistant. So be sure to click the subscribe and the notify button if you're interested in these sort of things. And so this video right here is a new series that I'm going to be doing. So let me know in the comments below if you like this sort of thing. I kind of asked the other day what people wanted, and it was week ahead pick-a-cards. And so something that I'm like passionate about is astrology and tarot, and just like intuitively like tapping into energy. So that is what this is going to be about. This is going to be a week ahead astrology energy, intuitive energy, just what you can expect, what you can tap into to really align you to your highest soul path. Like I was saying in my intro, that's really my purpose. So it's not really about fully making predictions necessarily, like, oh, well, this crazy event's going to happen. No, it's about you being able to utilize this energy because we live in a world that is out of cycles and rhythm, natural ones, and it really just doesn't support it. And so myself personally, I've learned in the last several years how important it is to get into a natural cycle and rhythm and follow this energy. It can be so helpful to tap into it, because you might be fighting against this very strong energy that doesn't want you to move forward at the time, or you might be able to tap into a strong energy where you can manifest and do different things, something that will be more supportive for you. So that's what this series is going to be about for you guys. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to actually talk a little bit about the astrology. I'm going to draw some cards, just why I'm doing it. But then I also have your pick-a-cards over here as well too, and we will get into that. So this is going to be, a little bit longer of a video. So I hope you guys enjoy. So sit back and relax, and let's talk about the astrology and really just get a feel for what is going on right now. So if you've ever watched any of my videos before, especially ones that have to do with astrology and whatever talking, I typically take a lot of notes. I will have notes after notes. I really enjoy writing things out, honestly. I just feel like it, I don't know, absorbs better, makes more sense. Plus, I keep it, and I told my children that they're going to inherit like books and books and books, notebooks of information. So I'm sure they're super excited about that. So anyway, let me go ahead and pull up this actual chart. Give me a second, because I'm switching between screens here. First thing that I thought was really important, you guys, was this Mercury sextile Neptune, because this is actually tapping us into our psychic, our intuition, our emotions more at this time. So Neptune was retrograde for several months last year, and it kind of, it took the they call it the rose-colored glasses. I've seen it even described that way, that Neptune brings. So it would take those rose-colored glasses off and, allow us to really see things for what they truly are. So now Neptune is back direct, and now it's in Mercury. And this right here is only going to be there for a few days, 2 to 3 days. And at this time, you can really tap into, like I said, creation, intelligence, planning, creating things, any projects or anything that you're trying to do. I would say the next 2 to 3 days are going to be very important for you to sit down and plan things. So here's something else too. Things are going to be pulled to the surface. They always are. And that's really been the theme over the last year, but we've really been seeing it probably the last 3 to 4 months. So that's still happening. Now, I know we just entered, 2021, and Happy New Year to everybody. I get so excited. I got ahead of myself. I'm sorry. Happy New Year. And this energy, I'm going to let you guys know, is going to be from about January the 2nd through the 8th. Somewhere around then. I'm going to make this a weekly thing, and I'll try to put them out every Friday or Saturday for us all. We'll see how the schedule works out. So, this is just for the next week ahead. And so, like I said, I think it's very important for you guys to understand that we've just entered this 2021, but I was really feeling like, because originally the start of the year started with spring, in March, because that was the first season of the year. Spring is represented by brand new growth. So we're technically still in this winter energy, where we are now. And because of this, I really don't feel like we're going to see a lot of changes, or it's going to be very hard for us to make a lot of big changes in our lives. Right now is about still assessing that foundation that we're creating, about going back and looking at things and making sure that they're put into place properly, excuse me. Because 2021 resonates with the number 5, and this is about personal freedom. This is about growth. This is about changes. And so before any of those things can happen, we have to make sure that the foundation is solid, which is what 2020 was about. It resonates with the number 4. I feel like we're still in this in-between kind of phase where, we're still, like, the universe is really wanting us to just stay like, okay, stay positive, stay active, but however, don't make any huge changes yet. I feel like for some of you, you may have some big decisions that are coming up in the next couple weeks where you do need to make these big decisions. So I'm just telling you guys that if you do need to do that, make sure that you have looked at everything. That's just the energy that I'm picking up on. Also, there's a lot I felt like going on with this moon. It's in Cancer right now, and it's going to be there for the next couple of days. And, just how it's also in opposition to Saturn and Jupiter and all that in Capricorn. This can bring up a lot of family issues. I feel like things at home, and it's very possible there just could be some issues when it comes to home coming through. And this is, once again, only to heal these things. So whenever we see a situation or an issue happening, this is because the universe is going, are you ready to overcome? Are you ready to heal this and move forward and align to something higher? And so that's what I mean all the time about aligning to your highest soul path, because we all have one. We all resonate with a higher soul path, but we have to kind of go through these, checks and different things to remove them and, keep moving forward. So once again, if these things do, show up or anything like that, it's really important to be mindful and step back and ask, why is this happening? What am I supposed to be learning from this right now? There's a big thing too going on with this Neptune energy, I feel like, and Mercury, that it's time to speak your opinion. If you're not feeling loved, if you aren't happy in a relationship right now, don't continue to settle for these things, because otherwise you're going to stay stuck in this energy. It's very important. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about going and yelling at anybody or getting upset at anybody. It's about approaching this, obviously, from a loving place, from your heart. And if this is something that is hard for you to, speak to somebody else about, really just starting to meditate, being mindful about your thoughts, and, asking your guides what you need to do at this time. Because I understand not everybody's just so easy to go talk to and tell them how you feel. But that's kind of the energy that's coming up right now. It's like it's time to start talking about how you feel. This is about, like I said, 2021 is about your freedom, your spiritual freedom, your personal freedom. And this does create a lot of changes and can create a lot of chaos in our lives too. So, we always have to make sure we are coming from a more loving place. Otherwise, we just create more issues for ourselves. But, like I said, it's very important for us to be able to express ourselves. And that talks about our throat chakra and our heart chakra coming together. And, really expressing our true feelings, which is another thing that our world has kind of stopped us from doing for a while, is expressing how we truly feel. And it's because, I feel like people just weren't ready for these sort of things yet. Emotionally, they were on a very more 2D, 3D kind of consciousness, more about just survival. Emotions were the last thing that you really cared about. Well, now we're starting to see how people truly feel. We want to know how they feel. We want to know, we want to connect with people intimately, not just on this kind of level here. So this is going to be important as we really move into the next couple months and into this year. But this week particularly, I feel like a lot of you will deal with family stuff, partner stuff, and expressing your emotions here. And specifically, I feel like this week, you guys should focus more on planning, the things that you're wanting to do, what, your intentions are for 2021. Really get a good plan, a good foundation for these things. This is going to be very, very helpful. And you may even see things move along a little faster if you do take more time making these plans here, but I do feel like this is a very, very important thing here. We're still getting a lot of restriction from Saturn and Capricorn with Jupiter. I mean, this is going to go on for a couple of months, like I said. I feel like we're going to just feel very, very stuck. And it's important that we don't allow our, vibration to become lower because of it, or feel like, okay, nothing's happening. This is a time the universe is asking us to tap in. This is a time that we need. And, the universe knows what it's doing. We have to trust it. And that's why I say when we can tap into these cycles, it's very, very important. It's very powerful. We can utilize these things to really advance ourselves, spiritually and, in the world, anything you're really trying to align to, your desires, your passions, those sort of things. It's just important to really, like I said, the cycles have changed my life. Not gonna lie, like they truly have. And I'm just gonna draw some. I'm gonna move my notes. I just want to shuffle here while I'm talking. And so as you can see, I have a new setup, you guys, and I'm going to get it to where, I don't know, I wanted a different background, and I want to be able to do live chats for you guys, too. But I was kind of in a hurry, and I jumped up today, and I just wanted to be able to get this video out for you guys. I had already planned it, and I was excited. So we'll start here. This may change a little bit. So we have the Ace of Swords coming up. So this is going to be a collective reading here, you guys. So the Ace of Swords is about communication and messages coming through, new thoughts and ideas. And I do feel like this week we're going to be blessed with that, creativity and these thoughts and information. Something else that I saw astrologically too is all of this Mercury energy. The sun is actually conjunct Mercury. It's going to be conjunct Pluto in a few days too. The nakshatra that it's sitting in as well also is all really close to the galactic center. And so the galactic center is super cool. It's where a lot of energy and protons and really information comes through. So getting, downloads and stuff like that is very, very possible if you're working on healing yourself, DNA upgrades, those sort of things. That would be very, very powerful for the next few days for you guys to really just sit, meditate, take that information, that energy in for yourself. Because like I said, that's going to be happening very close to this galactic center. And I'll tell you guys something that's pretty interesting I found out. They did a study, and the sun, moves in front of the galactic center every single day. And they found out, they did, I think it was 20 years worth of research. And I'll put this information below because I swear this was an actual, scientific study that they did. So the sun aligns close to the galactic center every single day. And there's a specific time, and you actually have to look it up and said real time. But at that time, everybody is 400% more psychic. So they know that scientifically. So that's why I'm talking about the galactic center being very important here, and, using this time to really tap in and download that information, that's available. Let's see what else is coming through. So definitely, like I said, this Ace of Swords energy, that's perfect. That air energy, we're definitely getting a lot of Mercury energy that is happening. Like I said, speaking your mind, we have two aces here too. And so we have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Pentacles. And so this is about new ideas for business, money, stability, home, earth. Those sort of things are popping up this week. But as you can see, these are still aces. That means it's all still in your mind. And, it hasn't quite developed yet. So we're still kind of waiting on that development to come through. Like I said, if you're planning any projects, whatever you are trying to do in the next, in 2021, it's very important for you to make a very good plan for yourself at this time. And that energy is going to be very supportive for you to do this. Boy, these are my OG cards too, so some of them are like kind of funky. So this is the Seven of Pentacles. So some of you, like I said, may be feeling like, okay, you're stuck, you're waiting, you're not sure what's going on, nothing is moving forward. But the Seven of Pentacles shows me that you've already planted the seeds. You can actually back away at this time and kind of wait for them to grow. You don't have to stand over them and watch them. You have the Six of Wands, and I did feel this because of the time of year it is and what is going on right now. Some of you are going to be invited out. Some of you are going to be, hanging out with friends and doing a lot of things. I felt like this week could be very, very busy for some of you guys, and it may be hard for you to kind of tap back into this intuition or doing things on your own. So just make sure you're making time, because I feel like you're going to be like pulled all over the place. Like everybody's going to want your attention this week for a lot of you guys. We have the Ten of Swords, and some of you may be, ending relationships, ending situations, things going on that have made you very anxious. And really, this is the universe also saying it's time to step back from this, whatever it is that has been making you very anxious. This is the cycle ending. This could have to do with the year 2020, just getting out of that year is making a lot of people feel a lot better. I have noticed that. But what I want to say about this is just because we moved into a new year doesn't mean that, things are going to automatically change. And that's kind of what I'm, talking about, that it's important that if we want to make changes, that we have to recognize, okay, what the energy is and what needs to be changed as well, too. They're not just going to automatically change around us. We actually have to put some of that work and effort into what we want to see. And really, it just takes being more mindful, being more aware, and, setting those intentions is very important. I started to do over the last few years, and it has changed my life, of just saying, I always say simple things really work the best. Things that we have access to are very important, and we all have access to. So waking up in the morning when you're taking a shower or whatever you do in your like morning routine, making sure that you're taking time and kind of planning your day mentally, blessing your day, making sure you're thinking good thoughts and not going, oh my gosh, I can't, I don't want to go to work today. I don't want to see this person today. I don't want to have to do this. Kind of switching that script up, those words up, and really start to bless it more. And that's what I say. And no, it's not just everything will magically change like I'm saying, but you would be surprised how you feel, which is the biggest thing. And you changing your energy is going to change a lot during your day, because you're the one that really is giving everything the energy and the meaning and the thought anyway. So we have the Devil. So you guys may be, and it's right next to this Ten of Swords, some of you may be getting over some, like I sensed like bad relationships, toxic relationships, and this could also be addictions or things that you're trying to give up. Once again, I could see this energy very much, because we just entered a new year. A lot of people have their, new year resolutions, and I could see a lot of people trying to do that. So what I'm going to say to that, though, for you guys, because I also have the Ace of Cups in reverse, is don't overwhelm yourself. I feel like this is some overwhelming energy here at the end. Don't get ahead of yourself. Set your intentions first. Don't be so harsh on yourselves either. Sorry, I had to pause that because the dog started barking. So yes, what I'm saying is basically don't try so hard and get yourself overwhelmed to where you give up already, because that happens a lot with people. They have the best intentions at the beginning of the year, and then a week goes by and nothing has changed. Make sure that the mind is the most important thing to work on first, and that is the foundation that I'm talking about here. So making sure that you are checking in with yourself. What thoughts, what intentions are you having, more subconsciously and unconsciously? So those are the ones that we have to pay attention to. So if there are changes you're trying to make, I would suggest, this is what I suggest to a lot of people that are trying to make changes, is take 2 to 3 days and write down as many thoughts and emotions and feelings that are coming up throughout your day. So then you can become a little more aware of how you're actually thinking. You may not even be aware of the thoughts and things that are showing up while you're going throughout your day because they are unconscious. So really check in with that first and really set that foundation first. That's really the theme I feel like this week for you guys is, and don't be so hard on yourself. I'm really feeling that. I feel like a lot of you are like, okay, I have to make these changes right now, and if I don't, then the world is over with. So it's not quite time for that yet. It is, like I said, more about the foundation and the mind and really getting these downloads and tapping in. I think that's going to be very important for you guys to tap back in and really almost rest. Get the downloads, the intuition, tap in with spirit, stuff like that is going to be, more important. And don't get, like I said, overwhelmed, harsh on yourself is what I really pick up too, or feel like you're stuck, in a situation at this time. Once again, I'm sorry to repeat myself over and over again. Work on that mind and that foundation first, and that's going to be the most helpful thing for you. And astrologically, that's going to be very supportive for you guys as well too. Things will start to pick up and change. We just need this time to plan a better foundation, to look at things properly before we move forward. You don't want to build, something, your dreams, your desires, your passions on something that won't hold it, because otherwise it's going to fall down. I know I like to get ahead of myself. And in 2020, for sure, I learned this the most in 2020, that it is so important to slow down and to not be harsh on yourself. Things will happen, and sometimes, things slow us down on purpose for us to be able to re-look at things. And that's really what 2020 was about. This was the first year that people had to be very mindful and conscious about what was going on, changing routines. And that's why I feel like a lot of people became aware this year too. So what I'm going to do next is I will show you your guys' pick a card. I'm going to actually put them up on the screen right now, and I want you guys to look at them, take your time, find the one that resonates with you the most, and I put the timestamps below, and I will see you guys at your reading. All right, my friends, those of you that chose pile number 1, this is going to be your week ahead tarot reading and oracle reading. We'll just see what's coming through for you guys. I like to clear the energy since I just did a collective reading too, just to make sure. Get a little reset. All right, so I have oracle cards, but we're going to start with your tarot cards to see what is coming up. We have the Two of Swords. You guys can see these. I like these cards. They remind me of like the Nightmare Before Christmas. We have the Two of Wands. Two twos. Okay. So those of you that chose pile number 1, you may have some commitments, contracts, or something like that coming, decisions that you're having to make here in the next week. And that's what I was feeling really in the collective reading too, that those of you, that there are some of you that have big decisions that are coming through here. Some of this may have to do with somebody coming back as well from the past, old boyfriends, girlfriends, those sort of things, relationships popping back up, making decisions with those sort of things. Because whenever I see the Two of Swords, I always feel like I don't know, me and my guys, we figured it out this way. It's like reuniting with somebody from the past, but making amends with them. So that could be happening with you guys. With the Two of Wands, I feel like you guys are going to have to make some decisions this week. There's something that's coming up. You're kind of being pressed towards making a decision. But once again, make sure that you're taking your time and looking at things 100% before moving forward. I think that's a big lesson and thing going on for us over the next week and probably the next couple months, you guys. But I do feel like you guys are going to have to make some pretty big decisions. Pick a path at this point is what I feel like here. And you might feel a little blinded to it too, because in the original Rider-Waite as well too, she's blinded. So I was just seeing that again, that you may feel like you can't really see what is the right way. There may be some delusional stuff going on, not from you, like you can't see exactly what is happening in front of you and it's kind of scaring you. So I definitely say that it's important to tap into that intuition and ask spirit, what is the right way for you, and really get that clear picture from that. You have the Knight of Wands. So this could be somebody coming through for you. This could be a romantic person coming through, wanting to go on a date, go out, have some fun here. So this would be a fire sign. So this would be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Or this could be some messages, which is what I'm feeling like. Somebody's going to almost catch you off guard is what I feel like. For those of you that chose pile number 1, you might get this random sudden message. It's like, hey, do you want to go out? Do you want to do this? I'm just getting this, and even like as I'm speaking to, I get this like, oh, I don't know, maybe like a 5 second, 10 second, 20 second, 30 second, 40 second, 50 second, 60 second, 70 second, 80 second, 90 second, 100 second, 200 second, 300 second, 400 second, 500 second, 600 second, 700 second, 800 second, 900 second, 1000 second, 2000 second, 3000 second, 4000 second, 5000 second, 6000 second, 7000 second, 8000 second, 9000 second, 10000 second, 20000 second, 30000 second, 40000 second, 50000 second, 60000 second, 70000 second, 80000 second, 90000 second, 100000 second, 200000 second, 300000 second, 400000 second, 500000 second, 600000 second, 700000 second, 800000 second, 900000 second, 1000000 second, 2000000 second very rushed kind of energy right now. I'm actually a little more like hyper, I want to say, at this moment. And that's kind of the energy I'm picking up on. Somebody's going to be like, come on, make your decision, hurry up right now. What do you really want to do here? You have the Queen of Wands too, which is also a fire energy. That could be either, a fire sign coming through here, or this could be your energy as well too. You could be really passionate about working on something right now, a desire, a passion project, going back to school is what I'm picking up too. Really more focused on yourself and bettering yourself is what I feel like. And it's almost like this person kind of steps in the way and takes you off guard. Because of it, it's kind of just throwing you off balance here. You're not sure, exactly which way you want to go. Should you, spend time with this person? Should you answer this question? Whatever that situation is that is coming up, it's kind of throwing you off balance is what I feel like this week. Just not the energy that you expected. And then we have the Ten of Wands, which we actually saw the Ten of Wands in the collective reading, which I think is interesting. So at some point, I feel like you will make this decision and leave something behind, something that is overwhelming. And this could just be, a thought process. This could be something that's holding you back. Like I said, thinking wise, I've done that before for sure. There may be, oops, sorry you guys, I think I just kicked my camera. There could be a thought process that you have about a certain person, about a certain thing that is going on in your life, and you just kindly choose to leave it behind. You go, you know what, I'm not going to think this way anymore. And I could see that with the Ten of Wands, but I am thinking for sure that whatever that is coming through this, somebody's going to be asking you a question. You're going to be asked to make a decision this week. And because of it, it's going to feel pretty heavy. And so just make sure that you're tapping back into yourself and slowing down, because this is some pretty intense energy. This is some very much like, hurry up, hurry up. That's what I keep feeling like. This is a very rushed energy, and you don't have to be rushed. I feel like you're going to get the answers that you need and be able to move forward. Just don't become overwhelmed, because I sense just a lot of overwhelming energy that is coming through here. So let's see what your oracle cards are saying. So this card says changes. So we're definitely seeing that because of the Ten of Wands and these decisions that are coming through here. This could have to do with, I was picking up with that with the collective, making decisions about family members. This could be a mother figure, the Queen of Wands here. Something like that you're having to make a decision with. But you're definitely having some changes coming through. You have teaching. So this goes back to what have you learned over the last year or few years? What roots have you grown? What are your beliefs? And so Spirit's wanting you to tap into that and make sure that you're looking at everything before you move forward. Because you're actually, whenever I see the teaching card too, it's about how do I make the next changes? What have I learned in order to move forward? Because it's the 1 and the 4, which is a 5. 1 plus 4 is 5. I always look at the numerology, but especially with this card having the roots and then growing the strong tree too, it really to me is about looking at what have you learned, what have people taught you in the last year, or through the last several years. I keep saying last year because I just feel like 2020 was such a big deal for everybody and for all of us. But it really is about just your whole life. What have you learned? And how can you tap into that to really make these changes and give up what is, very overwhelming at this time. But like I said, I almost feel like somebody's going to kind of blindside you. That's funny because he's blindfolded. Blindside you and ask you a question, and you'll have to make like a quick decision this week. So you have the ever unfolding rose cracked open. It's happening for you, not to you. See if you can see that. So it's going to feel almost like, I'm going to say it, an attack. And I kind of got that because of how quickly they're wanting an answer, or how quickly they're wanting to just move forward from this situation. Somebody's ready for you to quickly make a decision. And I feel like it's going to be overwhelming for you at this time, but you're going to be able to make it. You're going to be able to make the changes, and I feel like you're going to be comfortable because you have actually built a pretty good foundation in your beliefs and yourself too. And to kind of not take it as, I want to say personally, and know that this is actually the universe moving you forward from this situation, is what I want to say there. We have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart, which is what I feel here very much, especially with this teaching card too, as you have so much going on outside, what's going on around you, and it's going to be extra important for you this week to make sure you're taking time for yourself, you're meditating, you're asking your guides for information and wisdom here, and not just jumping into a situation or jumping out of one either. We have Sita, and she is a deity, and we have Kriya. And so these cards are pretty interesting, actually. So this card really talks about you may have been very devoted to something or very devoted to someone. You've been giving a lot of yourself, which I feel like we're seeing with the Ten of Wands. Whatever the situation is, you've been giving more than you're receiving, and it's become overwhelming. And this is the week really about making decisions and really kind of devoting yourself back to you. And then with this Kriya as well too, this is talking about things may seem tough. Things may seem like they're not flowing the way that you're wanting to. And so that means that there's something that you're possibly pushing or hanging on to at this time. And so the universe is going, it's okay to give this up. And sometimes it almost feels like we are giving something up, literally. So I almost feel that those of you that chose this pile will have to face something like this, a pretty intense decision, like I was saying, situation, but it's trying to put you back in a flow, a natural flow, like what I was talking about too, because it's almost like you're pushing against your highest self or against something else that is happening here. And I would feel like you guys would know that too. Like if you do feel like you're giving a lot and not receiving anything in return, or, you know, hardly anything, then it's definitely time to reassess the situation and balance it back out, which is something else number 2 talks about. 2 also is the feminine energy and talks about resting and healing, and looking within yourself. So as much fire and action and things going on around you this week and changes, I feel like the universe and spirit are really wanting you to make sure that you are tapped into yourself this week and being very, very mindful, because things are changing quick, very quickly for you guys this week. And I think it's funny too, because I did say, oh, a lot of, not a lot is going to be changing. And I do feel like that. I feel like it's almost a stuck situation. But for those of you that chose pile number 1, something's about to happen. Something's about to occur. And really, like I said, make changes in your life, a decision that you're going to have to make. But Spirit's definitely going to make sure that you're tapped back into, your higher self, and really listening to your intuition before you make this decision. But I really feel like you're going to make it through the week stronger. And I almost sense that you guys that chose this pile already knew that this was about to happen. This was nothing unexpected. It just feels overwhelming because it's happening so fast. All right, pile number 1, I think that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I would love it if you would leave me a thumbs up or a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. I hope you guys have a super blessed week, and thank you so much for watching. All right, my friends, those of you that chose pile number 2, this is going to be your week ahead reading. And I have some oracle cards, but we're going to start with your tarot cards to see what is coming through. Oh, I got them upside down. All right, so we have the 3 of Pentacles, and I was actually feeling this way, when I was speaking about astrology and the collective energy, is this week is about planning for the future more, about making sure that before you move forward that you got, all your ducks in a row kind of thing. This could also be about working with somebody that has a little more experience, is what I feel like, asking them before you move forward. Is this the right thing to do? What would you suggest in this situation kind of energy this week? So we also have the 8 of Swords. So this is coming through as something that is bringing you a lot of anxiety. And I would say that it's been happening for a while. However, you are the one that is in control of removing this anxiety. So you are the one, that has to take a second look and go, where is this anxiety coming from? What's the source of it? Why am I having it right now? The 8 of Swords is definitely about you can remove your own blindfold and prison as well too. And it's typically referred to the mind because it's an air sign, swords. So that's why I say anxiety. These are thoughts that you're having that are overwhelming and, preventing you from doing something, from moving forward here. So you may be having some anxiety about the future, about finances and those things with the Three of Pentacles here. Yeah, a lot of intense anxiety is coming through with this week. Now, I could see that because we are having a lot of Mercury energy. So I would definitely say if you are having that this week, make sure you're writing, using your voice as much to express yourself as possible, having an outlet of some sort, because this is just like a lot of energy coming through and not being able to get rid of it. So make sure even like exercising or walking or getting outside and kind of grounding yourself would be important this week, because it just feels like this is going to affect those of you that chose pile number 2 a little more in an anxious way. So we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is, somebody that's very excited and very enthusiastic, which I see. So those of you that chose pile number 2, I feel like you're ready to, hit the ground running almost, but you're not quite there yet. And that's kind of the collective message too. Nobody is quite ready yet. We're still kind of putting in place that foundation before we move forward. That's important that we do. And so make sure that you are paying attention to everything that is going on. I feel like there's still some things that you need to learn before moving forward, especially if you're anxious about something. We have the Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles, you may have to, a decision coming through, something that you have to wake up, making a decision, leaving a job, getting rid of a bill in your life that's too much is what I just felt like too. And especially seeing the Three of Pentacles also, I feel like you guys are reassessing in order to create a better foundation, but it is still kind of making you a little bit anxious here. You're kind of done and over with something is what I feel like. And you're having a hard time making this decision. This is that weighing back and forth. What should I do here? We have the Six of Swords. And so this is about moving out of a tough situation. Once again, we're seeing the anxiety. So I feel like towards the end of the week, you really are going to start to feel better. I feel like there's going to be a weight lifted during the week. There's something that you've been thinking about removing from your life. I keep thinking of like some sort of finances, bills, job, something along those lines. You've been really thinking about quitting, leaving, or giving up, and you do this week. And when you do, it's actually going to like lift a lot of weight from you and those around you too. But up until then, I like I said, I'm sensing a lot of anxiety. So that's why I feel like you guys should really, tap in is going to be very, very important and not rush. When I see the Page of Wands, I feel like you're rushing into this. And, then we had the Two of Pentacles, rushing into a decision. So make sure that you're not rushing into it. Make sure that, like I said, you have that firm foundation. You're tapping back into spirit and being mindful and, asking questions that you need to and making sure you feel good before you make that decision. So let's see what your oracle cards are. We have struggle, so that kind of confirms what I felt like. And we have the fish swimming upstream. So it may feel like that a little bit this week. And like I said, it's almost like you're letting go of decision. For some of you, I feel like you're letting go of one thing in order to put the energy into something else. Maybe you're investing in something new, is what I feel like. But it's been a struggle to kind of either give up this other or get into this new routine or path here. It just hasn't been very easy. We have the feminine energy, which I'm seeing a lot of this week. Feminine energy really talks about healing, resting, tapping into intuition is very important. So I would definitely say that that's what Spirit's, kind of saying, make sure that you're doing this week, that you're stopping, slowing down, not rushing into anything. I saw that, and actually pile number 1 too is just like this intense energy, and I feel like it's happening collectively because we're so ready for something new because of last year that we're ready to rush into the next thing. However, Spirit's like, don't do that yet. We're not quite ready yet. It's okay to take a little extra time here, taking care of yourself, making sure that you are grounded mindfully too. That is very important. And so like even in pile number 1, I was seeing a lot of slow down. It's going to feel very rushed, but it's okay. Everything's going to work out, but you just have to slow down a little bit. Next, you have Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the Oracle. So knowing that you have the wisdom that you need in order to make this decision. So that could be part of your anxiety this week, is not feeling like you're able to make the right decision. And Spirit's going, yes, you do. Just make sure you're slowing down and tapping in, and you have everything that you need in order to make this decision. You also have Mirror, who or what is triggering you, which I think is interesting. So we're seeing this anxiety coming through and this situation that I almost feel like is triggering. But this week is about making that decision to move forward, to leave that behind, to really devote yourself more to yourself. And I think I said that in pile number 1 too, because this year is more about personal freedom and finding our freedom. So it's important to, like, we can't love other people. We can't love the situation that we're in if we don't love ourselves, or if our mind is telling us otherwise. So it's so important to start with the mind, and that is why I talk about that a lot of times, especially seeing all this Mercury energy coming through and the swords, anxiety and stuff like that. But this 8 of Swords is showing that you don't have to be a victim anymore. You have control over the situation. You just have to remove the blindfold at this time. Sorry guys, I have to keep pausing because my dogs were barking. Okay, so your last 2 cards are Dorana and Hanuman. I'm sorry if I butcher this pronunciation. Yeah. So these cards though talk about focusing yourself, and this is about focusing on, you know, that inner wisdom like I was talking about too, and really honing in on it. But there may be some courage that goes with this too. So like I said, I felt some very intense stuff coming through. Like whatever you're making a decision about, what you're letting go of this week, it's not been easy. I did sense collectively, and even in pile 1, that this is having to do with relationships that are toxic. And I still kind of feel that a little bit in this too. For pile number 2, I feel that more of this has to do with finances, money, and job though as well. And it's just been a very difficult decision for you to have to let go. And I could definitely see that, because some of you may be, you know, in a situation where you need your job right this second, or you're taking a risk, you know, to do something different here. And you're excited about it, but just make sure, like I said, that you're tapping in here. Whatever you're doing, though, is going to take a lot of courage, and it's going to take you being very mindful and control of your thoughts. And that's what Spirit's really, you know, telling you to make sure that before you move forward, just, you know, get a grip of things, make sure that you're feeling good, you know, you feel good about yourself, that you're confident about yourself too. I feel like that, you know, why this card is here, your vibration is rising, you are the Oracle. You can trust yourself now. You've done this work, and you're actually being pulled in a specific way, a certain way, for a reason. And, you know, we're not always ready for those sort of things, but that's why the universe kind of brings it up for us, because we're going to sit there and try to push it back down over and over again. However, we're never going to grow or align to that highest soul path if we keep pushing it down. And that's all universe is trying to do, is align us to our highest soul path at all times. All right, pile number 2. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I would love you if you'd give me a thumbs up or a comment below. I hope you guys have a super blessed week, and thank you so much for watching. All right, those of you that chose pile number 3, this is going to be your reading for the week ahead. I hope you guys are doing all right. I have oracle cards, which I will put to the side for now. And let's start with your tarot cards. So we have the Wheel of Fortune. And this seems to be a big theme this week, is making changes. You know, or something coming up that makes a huge change in people's lives. Now, I know I said in the collective reading that things are going to feel like they're not moving forward. This feels like more the changes that are coming through are something that you knew about, that kind of you let fall to the wayside, I want to say, or, you know, you kept kind of more pushing down and going, no, not yet, not time, not time. And so these are things that would have to, you know, been worked out before moving forward for making these big changes. I hope that makes sense. But it's something, it feels like that was already in the works, like you knew was already coming, sort of situation. Your next card is the Ace of Wands, So here we are, we're seeing some new thoughts, some passions, some desires coming through. And I did sense that like this week is going to be great for tapping into that energy. If you have any ideas, if you're trying to plan things out, this is the week to do it, to get really specific, get those inventive ideas. Will really be important this week. So we have the Ten of Swords, and we got the Ten of Swords and the collective reading, and we're seeing two tens here. So for some of you, this could talk about moving or changing careers. With seeing the two tens, these are big changes. This is the end of a cycle, relationships, careers, moving. Big changes in the life cycle here are coming through for you guys this week. So this may be something that you kind of you know, like I said, weren't ready, you didn't want to do. Maybe you're waiting till after the holidays to really make the decision on how to do this, or, you know, what was best. But this week, it's actually going to come back up. We also have the Magician. So this talks about possibly getting some messages, some communication, but it's really about putting your skills to work too, and realizing that you have these skills in order to make changes and to make things happen this week. Your next card is the Nine of Cups. So this is really cool, you guys. So those of you that chose this one, I feel like you've been kind of leading up to this change, to this decision, or whatever is about to happen, but it's something you've really been wanting, you guys. It's something that has kind of, I feel like you didn't feel like anything was going to change, anything was going to happen, but you've really put your work and effort into things, and now you're really starting to see things change in your life right now. I do think it's interesting seeing the Ten of Swords too, because this is about something that's really just been on your mind, making you feel very anxious. This could even be talking about betrayal, people, you know, going behind your back, hurting your feelings. This is overwhelming, anxious emotions that you're leaving behind here. And I think it's really cool because I feel like you're almost going to get a sudden message is what I feel like. And it's going to change everything. So this week could be almost like a surprise that's coming through for those of you that chose pile number 3. Or like I said, this could have to do with, you know, you waited until now's the time, and once you're actually able to make this change, this move, or do what you're doing here, it's actually going to be a very positive and like it's going to be a huge blessing for your life. Like this is the Nine of Cups is the wishes come true. This is just everything has worked out perfectly. So if you're stressed about details right now too, which is what I felt like, seeing the Ten of Swords, you guys might be stressed about how it's all going to work out. There's going to be something that comes through this week that is going to just be like, oh my gosh, thank you. This just pulled everything together. This just made everything work out perfectly for me. Even though, like I said, I'm sensing a little bit of stress and anxiety here at the beginning here of the week, especially seeing the Ace of Wands. It's almost like you're thinking of this, you're thinking of that, but something kind of comes through and changes it all and just makes things work out. But I feel like it's something you already put into motion. Like you already had done this work. You've already, you know what you're doing here, and it actually is working out the very best for you this week. Whatever is coming through these changes. But like I said, this is big changes. This is life-changing stuff that's coming through this week. But I did sense that a lot of you are really holding back from making these changes. Maybe there was a lot of fear in making the changes this week, but you're letting all that go right now. So your next card is Truth. And that's interesting too. So maybe there's some truth coming out, especially seeing this Ten of Swords. And it may not be the best truth or what you really wanted to hear. The Magician can be a trickster. He can be deceptive. So, you know, even though it may look like a deceptive thing or, you know, somebody has hurt you, this truth is coming out and it's actually setting you free is what I'm really feeling like, because you've just had so much anxiety about this situation for so long. This is what you needed to be able to let go, to move forward. And we have Growth, which is a beautiful card too. And this card, I really just, this is whatever is happening for you. This is going to help you grow in your life. You're going to see positive changes come from this. This is a positive thing that is happening here. And it's, you know, providing you a lot of growth spiritually, physically, mentally, all those sort of things. I love that card, actually. Your next card is Anna, Grandmother of Jesus, Seeding the Light, Laying Foundations, Divine Plan. So some of you may have felt a little off course, is what I was sensing, but you were off course because you were hanging on to something that wasn't so good for you, is what I feel like. And even though this is hard to let go of, or whatever changes that are about to make, this is not, changes are never easy. Whatever it is, you can really feel how powerful this next phase and step of your life that you're taking. Like, this is so good for you spiritually, and you're going to be able to feel that this week. So you guys actually have a really beautiful week ahead of you guys. Energetically, I feel like those of you that chose pile number 3. So we have boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? This still comes through as a person to me. Somebody that you're kind of going, nope, I'm not going to let you do this to me anymore. I know the truth. I'm not going to allow this to harm me. And this alone will help you grow so much. When you're able to put your foot down and go, you've been hurting me for so long. I'm not going to deal with this anymore. And you're making the changes, you're stepping up, and I feel like you're doing this probably on your own, but this is very powerful for you. This is aligning you with something better, I feel like, very much so. But this week, you may be setting some boundaries for people in your life. We have the yamas, and we have the sacral chakra. Seeing the sacral chakra really does this is our connection to other people. This is our creativity. So whatever was going on was possibly blocking you from, being creative, from doing the things that, give you passion, from having connections from people. And this week is more about, taking care of yourself. And I actually saw that in all 3 piles. I did. And even with the collective reading, we're tapping back into our personal power, because the only way we can love, other people and have good connections with people is if we love ourselves. If we're not rooted, in our own beliefs and feel safe and secure, which is what the root chakra talks about, there's no way we can connect with other people. There's no way we can create and love and, have all these visions, creative visions, without any of that. So it's so important that you take these next steps, because this is really lighting up that sacral chakra, I feel like, for you guys. And some of you may have been abused and harmed, different ways, and I understand, and I feel very sad, honestly, because when I see the sacral chakra, I immediately almost connect to some sort of abuse and shut down from it. And it really is, because it's the beginning of the chakras. You start with the root, and the root happens with family and home. And, if we're not able to feel safe and secure in ourselves, then this sacral chakra has a very hard time, being balanced and working properly. And it'll give us issues with relationships and making money and being creative our whole lives. So this is a very powerful thing that, you're working on and working through healing at this time. And I think it's actually really beautiful. Sacral chakra is the one that I've been working on for the last year. And I will tell you that it's been amazing, actually. So I recommend too that even though you got this card, I would definitely say maybe doing some meditations, doing some different things, some sound healings that is related to that sacral chakra, to amp up that passion, that power, that creativity that you have. And so this card too, I think, is interesting, because I do feel like those of you that chose pile number 3 have had a hard time making a decision, moving forward with something, because you're not sure what the right thing is to do. Maybe you were like, well, if I stay here, this is the right thing to stay with this person at this job, in this situation here, because I'm a nice person. But now you're really starting to see, okay, this isn't healthy for me. This isn't good for me. And I really want to do the things that are healthy for me at this time. And that's why I think it's interesting, because both of these cards are orange too. So definitely this week, your focus is going to be on that sacral area, that orange, that passion, that creativity. And I'm seeing that coming through to you guys, like I said, as intuitive downloads. I really feel like, I feel like for those of you that chose pile number 3, you're just going to be inspired this week. There's something about the information that you're getting, the work that you have put in, that really hasn't made a lot of changes in a while, is going to start coming in and giving you passion and desire and self-worth as well too. I think it's going to be very big. You're stepping into your own power here and really feeling, really good about yourselves. So this is the energy that you can tap into, pile number 3 this week. All right, my friends, those of you that chose pile number 3, I think that is all that I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, I would love it if you'd give me a thumbs up or just leave a comment below. Let me know how you're doing. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching and have a super blessed week, y'all.